Our story of the day is about Apple's event today. What did they talk about? What did they release? Well, let's dive right in. So first of all, they announced some new MacBook Pros, 14-inch and 16-inch, and you can get it with an M1 Pro or their better chip, which is the M1 Max chip. These are very expensive laptops. They are gonna be like over $2,000, $3,000, very, very expensive. Now the M1 Pro and M1 Max, they're gonna be 10-core CPUs, and then with the Pro, you can get up to 16 cores GPU performance, and with the M1 Max, you get 32-core GPU performance, and then just really low power consumption, and then really powerful chips overall, and very pricey, expensive tags on there. And just like we've seen from the rumors, this does have a notch, just like an iPhone does, except that there's no Face ID in there. It just houses the camera. The camera is upgraded to 1080p finally, which is nice to see, but it does have a notch, which does make it iconic, I'll give it that, but it also makes it a little bit weird looking. They also announced new AirPods. This is the newest generation. These are $179.99. You can see they get an all new design with spatial audio, adaptive EQ, longer battery life up to 30 hours, and sweat and water resistance. Lastly, they announced new colors for the HomePod Mini. They used to only have black and white. Now they have blue, orange, and yellow. I really like that blue. It's a great looking color. And you can order these products right now. Next up is about the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Be prepared for a crazy, crazy price, like extremely low price for these phones that are really gonna put the heat on Samsung and Apple, especially here in America, because we don't have a lot of flagship Android phones to be purchased. It's really, at this time of buying a phone, it's really, I mean, there was a smaller market, but generally, you know, if you just want to go to Best Buy or Walmart or Target or something to get a flagship phone, it's really only Samsung and Apple. But now you can add Google to that too. Check out these prices. This comes from, I believe, a worker there or just somebody going there. And ultimately, he tweeted it out. His name's Evan Lee, saying, shown on Target Price Leak, Google Pixel 6 128 is going to start at $599. The 6 Pro will be $898, and this is at Target. So extremely, extremely low prices for this phone, and they will be announcing this phone and everything else about it tomorrow, because that's Google event. Remember, today was Apple, tomorrow is Google, and then Wednesday is Samsung. So really busy day of new products and things to know about and learn about and potentially purchase for yourself. So story, why not? Let's talk about the Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. So first of all, release date. Release date will be October 28th. Pre-orders right now. They are linked down below if you want to take advantage of the pre-order. Prices, Pixel 6 is $599. Pixel 6 Pro, $899. Goes up from there depending upon if you choose different storage options. It's basically like $100 more if you want double the storage and so on and so forth. But very inexpensive. 128 gigs is this base starting line for all the storage options, and $599 for the 6 is extremely inexpensive. Now they also announced their new Pixel Pass, which is going to give you not only a Pixel phones, which you can upgrade every 2 years. You can choose the Pixel 6 or 6 Pro. You also get Google One, which is 200 gigs of cloud storage for your photos and pretty much anything else. Preferred care, so basically insurance plan. So if you break your phone, you can get it repaired, replaced, all that. YouTube Premium, so commercial-free YouTube. I love it. I have YouTube Premium. I love it. YouTube Music Premium, which is their version of Spotify or Apple Music, which actually is really, really good. I generally use that for my son's music. Google Play Pass, which is a ability to play games without ads or in-app purchases, and you don't even have to buy the games. It's hundreds of games that you can download for free that usually cost. And like I said earlier, you can choose between the Pixel 6 or the 6 Pro, and they range from starting off at $55 or more for the 6 Pro with the Pixel Pass, or $45 or more for the Pixel 6. You can choose any color, all of that. So actually not that bad of a plan. If you keep your phone for 2+ years and you want all these other extra features, you can see you'll save yourself a pretty little penny over that time. I am super stoked about the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. I will have a video on it very, very soon. I should be getting my hands on it tomorrow, and I'm super stoked about it. It's complete competition for Apple and for Samsung in the premium phone market. This should be a very big release. You can tell it's going to be big From the time that they started the event, the Google store was basically kaput. It came back up, and then you still couldn't even check out because there was so much traffic going to the store. They weren't even ready for it. So I'm pretty excited, not only for the phone, like I said, but also like the amount of people that seem to be that interested in it. And if you're interested in it, let me know in the comments down below if you plan on buying it and when you're gonna get, and also why you're interested in it versus maybe not in the past. Next up, Galaxy S22 Ultra. Obviously, we've seen the P-shaped design of this phone, at least on the back of what it could look like with that camera setup. But what about this? Let's Go Digital saying Samsung gives S22 Ultra a water drop camera design. Exclusive source reports that Samsung provides the S22 Ultra with a water drop camera design without a camera island. This is what the phone looks like, and they kind of go just showing us what the phone could look like. So you'll still get those squared edges around the phone. You'll still get the S Pen with the insert. The big difference is on the back of the phone, you'll get raindrops, you know, where the cameras are just raindropped on top of each other without that P-shaped design. It's still kind of P-shaped, but it's not, like they said, it's not a separate island of its own, living on its own. And you can see they're showing off the burgundy, the white, and the black. And that burgundy is kind of sweet. I wouldn't mind a cough syrup phone, cherry cough syrup phone. It looks pretty darn cool. The white looks nice too, and obviously the black is really cool too. But if I had to choose, I would either choose that white or the red. Probably the red, because I haven't had a red phone, if ever, or a really, really long time. A really cool design. I'm not sure which one I like better. Do I like the raindrops? Do I like the island? I don't know. So, as you know or don't know, today was Samsung's Galaxy Unpack 2 event. And what a joke, guys. A complete joke. We went from Apple having a really cool event. You know, it was definitely noteworthy with the new MacBooks and the new colors for their HomePod minis. And then we had Google's event yesterday, where they launched their new Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. And that leads us into Samsung. You might think third time's the charm, even though the first two events were really good from Google and Apple. And Samsung just, what a waste of an event. Like, no need at all for this event. Zero. We did not need today's event. Why? Because they announced that you can customize your Galaxy Z Flip 3 with different colors and a partnership with Mason Katsune, which I did learn, I think, properly how to say that company's name. But let's talk about and show what they showed off. So the first one is going to be a relationship with Mason Katsune, and they are a French brand, whatever you want to call it. And they basically announced that you can get some Galaxy Buds 2 with their logo on there and a special color, and you know, it's cool. You know, if I could have got this initially, sure, I would have got it for these buds, but at this point I don't need another pair of Galaxy Buds 2, and I'm not gonna, just because this new design is on here, I'm definitely not gonna get it. Again, it looks cool, but whatever, not really that important. And then the other one is you can buy, again, a Mason Katsune special watch with watch faces, and you can connect it to your phone and get a special wallpaper / theme. And again, looks cool. Would it be something I'm interested in? Maybe, but I mean, I don't want the 40mm and I don't want the plain Galaxy Watch 4, but still, looking at this, you know, does it look cool? Yeah, but basically that was the two of the things they announced. The other one is Bespoke, Galaxy Z Flip 3 Bespoke Studio, and it allows you to customize your Galaxy Z Flip 3 with either predefined colors and looks to it, and then also you have a way you can personally choose which colors you want, with backings and the frames and the front and all that stuff. And they made a whole event about these two things, customizing your Galaxy Z Flip 3 with new colors, and also a relationship with Mason Katsune. Was it worth it? No. They could have just had a release on their website, a press release to the tech sites and everyone else, and that's pretty much it. But I don't know, pretty lame, total waste of an event, I think. Let me know what you guys think. Was it a waste of an event? Did it even get you excited? Let me know in the comments down below. And our last story of the day, as you can see right here, Galaxy Watch 4 put out a pretty gigantic update. I haven't got a chance to grab this update, but when you look at this update, first of all, the update is 477 megs. You're gonna get support for 4 types of new watch faces. Together, AR emoji, Bitmoji, and watch face usability has been improved. My Photo watch face supports GIF files now, so you'll have animated GIF files on there. Animal, cute character, watch face. Customization feature was improved, supports the back up and restoration of the order of watch faces and the changed settings of the preloaded watch faces. Samsung Health has an improved HR management accuracy algorithm was added. The sensitivity option in the fall detection feature was added. Gestures is a new gesture that allows you to run apps or features immediately was added. So I guess you can do like a knock knock feature with your wrist and it'll do open up an app or something like that. Call supports mute status icons and improved system stability and reliability. Again, this update is out right now. Pretty big update for the watch. Go out there and grab it for your Galaxy Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic. First story of the day is today is Microsoft Surface Duo 2 Day. If you want to pick up that phone, you officially can today. It's officially released. I'll be receiving mine later today. It's out for delivery. It's funny, Microsoft, because I ordered it through Microsoft, didn't even tell me it was being delivered today until today. Like, they didn't even tell me it shipped or anything. It's like, come on, really? What's going on with this? So I didn't even know it was coming today. I completely forgot. I've been so lost in the shuffle between the events that went on this week with Apple, Samsung, and Google, and then getting the Google phone yesterday and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, it's crazy. And by the way, I did my I guess you'd call it a first impressions type video on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. So if you want to check that out, I would definitely recommend checking out so far. I can't say a lot about it just yet, but yeah, check out the video. And also with that said, so yeah, you can go pick it up. I'll get mine today. I'll have a video, I should be out tomorrow, about the Surface Duo 2 and let you know my first impressions about it, what I think about it, what's good, what's bad, all of that stuff. So yeah, I don't know, if you have questions or something, tweet at me. We'll do that. Why don't you tweet at me at Greggles TV and I'll try to answer those questions. Next story of the day is all about this phone, the Galaxy Z Fold 3, a phone I dearly, dearly love. I like most things about it. Some things, aren't super amazing about it, but again, it's a great phone overall. With that said, what is the big deal I'm talking about today? And that is new software update seems to be coming out very, very soon, a big one, and the beta version at that. This is coming from Ice Universe. It says China Samsung will launch the One UI 4 beta of the Fold 3 in the near future. They already have the One UI 4 beta software out for the Galaxy S21 Ultra, this phone right here. And I have it. They're actually rolling out the third version of it for the beta for it. And then they got to start rolling out for other phones. So hopefully the next phone they do is the Galaxy Z Fold 3, because I wouldn't mind putting a little pep in this step of this, phone, and adding some new features and potentially a slightly new look to it overall and give it Android 12. So it'd be really, really cool. And it should be just around the corner. And at that point, you'd have to sign up for it. And just to remind you, the way you sign up for beta software for Samsung phones, you need to go into that Samsung members app on your phone, and then you should be able to sign up for it once it comes out. There's no sign up for it just now. The story of the day is about this phone right here, the Microsoft Surface Duo 2. Now this phone just came out. I just released a video on this too as well this morning, so if you want to watch that, check the archives. You'll see it as my newest video that I just released, and it's a pretty interesting phone at that, I'll say. It's some weirdness and some greatness, and you definitely want to watch it if you're interested in the Surface Duo 2. With that said, they already pushed out one update right when I got the phone, and now they pushed out another update, as you can see here from the tweet from Shane Craig. I actually did this after I saw his tweet saying that the update improves the performance and stability of your Surface Duo 2. Not a huge update, 288 megs, but a very welcome update, and it's welcome because the last phone, the Surface Duo 1 over here, this phone, I barely got, I didn't use it a lot, I'll be honest with you, and I got rid of it and then I rebought it, but they didn't really, I don't even think they changed the software. It's still on Android 10. The new one's on Android 11. Hopefully we'll see Android 12 soon, but regardless, it's nice to see updates coming out so quickly for the Surface Duo 2. Next up, as you can see from the headline, if you have a Galaxy S21 Ultra, the One UI 4.0 beta third one is now out, so you can download that if you're on the beta program. But the reason I'm kind of bringing that up, because I know most people don't have the beta, is that we're inching closer and closer to the full release. Usually I think they do 4 betas and then they usually release it. So if that's the case, we might see the real software for this coming out in November. I still think it's going to be December for most folks. And then from there, I would expect that the Z Fold 3 will probably get the beta in late November or sometime in December, and then, you know, so on and so forth with some of the other phones. But this is exciting. Who doesn't want new software? Who doesn't want a new operating system? Who doesn't want new features added to their phone? This is great to see that it's continuing to roll on. Here's a quick look at the S22 Ultra glass. I mean, there's nothing too crazy to see here. Just you can see that it's going to have minimal bezels, but be contained by glass basically all the way around the phone. And again, we're seeing this stuff. Obviously, this means the phone's getting closer and closer to release, getting that hype built up. So if you're waiting for the next Galaxy phone, or just to see what the next big phone will be from anybody, this should be one of the next big phones that people in America will definitely be able to buy, and obviously worldwide as well. I know Xiaomi's got a big release in December, but ultimately this will probably be the next one after that, especially worldwide. It would be the S22 Ultra. And the last story of the day, also about the Galaxy S22 Ultra, is some great news, and it's how fast the phone charges. Remember, this phone should have about a 5,000 milliamp battery, so it's a quite sizable battery, and you might want to be able to charge this really, really fast because 45-watt charging is coming back. Check this out. So this is coming from Ice Universe. It says the S22 Ultra 45-watt, 5,000 milliamp battery will be able to charge 70% in just 35 minutes. That is excellent news. I know there's other phones that can charge basically 100% in 35 minutes, but obviously Samsung's not pushing it that much. This is a very welcome sight to be able to get up to 70% in 35 minutes, which potentially could be all day battery life or all night battery life to get you to where you need to go without always having to be attached to the charger. First story of the day is about this phone, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. If you bought this phone from the Google store, you are able to get free Pixel Buds A, which are really, really good wireless buds. Like, I've reviewed them before. They're really good and they're under $100, but ultimately you can get them for free if you pre-order the Pixel 6 or 6 Pro. And you might not have known that. Now, even though you might have forgotten to get them and you have your pre-order, don't cancel your pre-order. Don't, because you can still get your free buds. So this is coming directly from Google. You're gonna be able to get an email from them, looks like on November 3rd. So if you're eligible for the Pixel Buds A Series promotion but forgot to add them, the Pixel Buds A Series to your phone order, don't worry, we'll send an email by November 3rd and the next steps on how to redeem the offer. So this is great news. You're gonna be able to still get your free buds and you don't have to cancel your order, so you don't lose your pre-order spot. In the meantime though, I think that the way it's gonna work, you might even be able to do this right now, go to the Google store, add the Pixel Buds with that same account that you logged in and bought them through, and it might automatically redeem them from free when you get to the checkout, if you don't wanna wait for that November 3rd email. So you can try that way as well. Otherwise, just wait for the November 3rd email and they'll give you the directions. But very cool that you don't have to, it's cool in that the company's not making you jump through hoops in order to get these buds, or they're like, oh, you missed out on the pre-order gift, we're not gonna give it to you. So very cool stuff. I'm glad Google's doing that for their customers. By the way, here's a little Pixel action for you. If you are curious, if you haven't seen my video yet that I did a few days ago, Pixel 6, check it out, fellas and ladies. Next up is a really cool story, and it's about the Galaxy Tab S8. Now they'll have the S8, S8 Plus, and S8 Ultra, and the S8 Ultra is going to be a huge redefining of this tablet. It's going to be huge. It's going to be like 14 inches, but that's not the one we're talking about today. But still, this is probably going to be the most popular one, or one of the most popular ones that they sell. This information is coming from Steve McFly, who says, and here comes your very first look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. And when we go to the site in his link here, it shows off the Galaxy Tab S8, and it looks eerily similar to the Tab S7, S7 Plus. So the design of the regular S8 will look identical pretty much to the other tablets they released last year. Again, the S8 Ultra will be the one that's really different looking and a lot bigger than these as well. But ultimately, when we just cycle through these, you can see on the back is where you'll house the S Pen. You see the big, not big, but semi-big bezels all around the tablet, which is gonna be fine because you need to hold the tablet somehow, and it's better to touch the bezel rather than the display. And when we get towards the bottom here, we're gonna get to the specs. So you're looking at an 11-inch display, probably with the Snapdragon 888 in there, 128 gigs of base storage, the battery 8,000 milliamps, RAM 8 gigabytes of RAM. It'll run Samsung One UI. It'll probably be One UI 4 if I had to guess, or at least I would hope it was. The resolution will be 1600 by 2560. It will be an LCD display, so it's not going to be OLED, so you're not going to get those amazing, rich, deep, dark colors that you do on the OLED. It's going to be LCD, which, again, probably fine for most people. Auto flash, auto focus, face detection, touch to focus for the camera features, and fast charging up to 45 watts via USB-C on this. And then price, you're probably looking at, I don't know, $600, $700, $800, somewhere in that price range. Our one and only story today, I said it was a big one, and I not only mean figuratively, but also the other way as well. And that is our first real look at what the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra is going to look like. Remember, this is going to be their 14.6 inch tablet. That's right, 14.6 inches. It's ginormous. So we're going to talk specs too. So let's just dive right into what this is going to look like. So it's going to have what you maybe didn't want, and that is a notch. As you can see, it will have a little notch on there that will house the camera, the front camera. But the reason seemingly that it has the notch is to keep the bezels really skinny. And obviously if they just can't fit the camera in that small of a bezel, so that's why it's sitting on top of that little notch. Now you might ask yourself, well, why didn't they just release this in an under display camera when, you know, cameras aren't all that important, especially for taking photos? I agree with you. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have done it like they did with the Galaxy Z Fold 3, but regardless, you know, it's there. It's not the end of the world, but it is something to know that if you hate notches, you're probably gonna hate this. It will charge via USB-C. It should have quad speakers, meaning 4 speakers on this, which is very normal for premium tablets. There will be dual cameras on the back, and ultimately it looks like it's going to be pretty thin. It'll house an S Pen on the back, so you can charge your S Pen, very similar to other Galaxy tablets as well. And you know, it's a different look for Samsung, obviously, with that notch, but ultimately 14.6 inches is absolutely ridiculous. Now let's go through some potential specs for the Galaxy Tab S8 series. We got these tweets from Anthony the Galax, who's, you know, this isn't 100% written in stone, but just to play around with what potentially the specs might be, you're looking at 45 watt charging, a 13 megapixel camera as a main, and 5 megapixel ultra wide. Like I mentioned earlier, quad speakers, 120 hertz refresh rate, Snapdragon 898 with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage. That'll probably be the base, and then you can work your way up from there storage wise. I assume it'll probably go all the way up to 512. I don't think they'll have a terabyte version, but I'd be gladly wrong for a lot of you guys if that was the case. The other part of this is that these are potential exclusive features on the S8 Ultra, those being, again, that 14.6 inch QHD plus 120 hertz OLED display. The other displays will probably be LCD on the Tab S8 and S8 Plus, with a 92% screen to body ratio. So that's where they have those thin bezels and then the notch. 11,500 milliamp battery, which is pretty big. Redesigned keyboard. So the keyboard cover on this should be redesigned, and I'm assuming it's probably gonna be a lot more sturdy, which if it is, it's going to be a huge, you know, win, and I'm definitely going to grab that tablet. New 5 megapixel front ultra wide camera, which would be cool. So I guess I'd have 2 cameras on the front, maybe, or 1. Well, ultimately an ultra wide is pretty cool in the front there. 5.5 millimeters thin, so it's be fairly thin. 12 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 gigabyte option of storage. Exynos 2200 option, I assume, in Korea and other parts of the world, probably not America. And price starting at $1,000 plus. So expensive tablet, big time specs, really probably looking to take over people's laptops potentially, because you're getting such a big device to not only consume your regular content like your media and your social media, and you know, but also to use it, and you can use this with any tablet, but this is really big, to, you know, write book reports, to code, to edit your website, whatever. I mean, because you gotta remember, it's gonna have DeX built into it. This is looking like a mighty big tablet. I'm pretty excited about this one. And it should be out, you're probably looking at January or February for the time frame. So with that said, would you buy, that'll be a question of the day. Would you buy this Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, or is it just too big, too expensive, too much, and maybe you'll grab one of the other ones? Let me know in the comments down below. With that said, guys, let's jump into the Q&A portion of the video and drop that. First question comes from Mr. D's product review channel. GPS. Do you use GPS in your vehicle, a portable GPS, or GPS on your phone when you travel anymore? No matter which, why that over the others? And if you use a phone, then two-part question. What app and why that app? When using the app, do you just use cellular data for that constant map updating for the upcoming map, or do you download a large area directly to your phone? So I always use GPS on my phone when I'm needing it. I don't use it every time I go somewhere, but I use GPS on my phone. I use the cellular data. I don't download a big, large map area. And then the one I generally use is Google Maps. Occasionally I use Waze. My wife uses Waze more so than I use it, but occasionally I'll use that. But most of the time, I would say 99% of the time I'm using Google Maps, especially lately. Turtle W1019, hey Greggles, what do you see being the next big accessory in mobile tech? Though I didn't get Google Glass, I have 3 Samsung smartwatches, a Fitbit, and even an Echo Loop, all cool devices. I think the next big one, I've kind of mentioned this before, are the smart glasses. I think that will be the next big thing. You're already starting to see it with some companies. You really probably need Apple and Samsung and some other big tech phone company to get into that space that we're to the point where it'll really explode. And you need it to do, I think it needs to do a couple things. I think the smart glasses need to take photos. I think they need to do some kind of audio and video recording as well. I think they also need to display information through your glasses, maybe such as notifications, maybe your whole display. But ultimately, I think in the beginning, it'll probably just be like notifications that are AR, meaning that you'll see your real world, but you'll see like a little text display over that real world as you're looking through it, letting you know that you have a notification. Maybe you can even respond to it and stuff like that. But I think that will probably be the next big step, would be smart glasses. And our last question comes from Emily Acevedo saying, I forgot about the Pixel launch event this week, and by the time I was able to pre-order the Pixel 6, the delivery is delayed until January. I wonder if I go to the store, would I be able to get it? My question is, with all the day battery really lasts the whole day? I remember getting the Note 10 and they claimed the same thing, but I found it didn't last all day. Great questions in there. So I did see, I don't know if you live in New York City or where you live, but if you have the ability to go to the New York City store, they're supposedly gonna have some in stock. I don't know how many. You're probably gonna have to wait in line. It seems like it's gonna be a very popular phone. You should still be able to get one before January if you're getting the regular Pixel 6. You should be able to get it on launch. I don't know. Maybe look at a different color, different storage amount. Maybe if you were looking to get it sooner through the Google store. Also look through Best Buy. Best Buy sells it. I have it linked in the comments down, the description down below. So check them. Target selling it. So you have a couple of places you can look towards buying. And then to answer your question, all day battery life, me personally, I always have to charge either really kind of late in the day or whatever, but it's very difficult to find a phone that's going to be giving you all day battery life. I haven't had the Pixel phone long enough to let all the adaptive battery settings kind of take effect to see where it kind of leads me. But I will say I'd be really shocked if it's giving you from, say you wake up at 6 in the morning and you go to bed at 10 p.m. I'd be hard pressed to say, oh yeah, it's gonna last and you never have to charge. I'd be quite shocked, but you never know. I guess it depends on how much you use it, where you use it, what you're doing with it, so who knows. There you guys go. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for all your questions and for watching the video, and I'll see you down the road. Peace.